Tulipo meet
2010, 2009.
2009, yeah.
2009 towards
Fresh
the end.
from high school. Bila dready.
Because nakam.
Why were you even there?
We met when we were both extras at Makutano Junction. It was a terrible job because they used to only call us on set when they needed us. And then they had, do you remember the cowshed? So they'd make us sit outside of the set for up to 4 or 5 hours.
Then you give me your days pay, sijui ni kuja na change or some crazy thing.
Hiyo pay ilikuwa 500, 600. And there was really no money because 600 for me especially, nilikuwa naishi Raisa to the set and back, nilikuwa na spend fare 500 already.
Did you ever think you would ngeingia kwa production at any point? Ama unge rise to the ranks in that same show?
My dream was not really get into production as have my own company. It was to become, what were we aiming for after? Third AD, like the third assistant director, so you become the boss of the extras. Until we got fired.
At least you got fired first.
Yeah, I got fired first. So we decided you had an idea for a business.
For a business, yeah.
But then you were slow, so you're just like,
I wasn't
we
slow.
can do this huge.
You jump into these ideas and you want to run with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm all about speed.
Let's first organize, and it worked.
When we tried to pitch the idea, the idea was to teach film in schools. So we went on the first round of pitching, and none of the schools would let us in.
Our friend
because we were looking shabby, so we got Mike Rewa, who was a celebrity at the time, to open gates. And then until we went to Makini, and even they wouldn't let us in, even with Paul.
Then you had to talk on phone to...
Yeah, ukaambiwa wacha tupige simu ndani useme kile unataka. So nikapitch hapo kwa kale kasimu ka security, sisi ni hawa nini. And we'll call you.
They gave me the call.
They called your phone,
yes.
And then I when you heard it was Makini, you acted as if it was a big office. Let me transfer you to Eugene. And we were seated outside in shorts. None of us had a camera yet. We were running a production company teaching kids. So we used to borrow my Krewa's camera. We used to borrow Austin's laptop. And then you remember the first payment we got? Yeah. I think it was something like 86,000? 84. So tukaenda pale karibu na Jivanji. Tukabaye kuku mzima, kebabs, chipo,
some oily. Hata si it's not even fancy food.
That mshiriti ilikuwa low. So tukaenda Club Sound. Hatuwezi get into the details exactly tulifanya Club Sound.
Actually 7 years ago.
Just a little over 7 years ago.
You had 2 shows. One about guys with money, and the other show about tourism or something.
I was very close to graduating.
Yep.
And I knew very well that if I finished school and I didn't have a source of income, my mom wouldn't be able to pay for my life for very long. Because she had already been struggling very much just to see me through school. The idea for Young Rich came up very interestingly because when we were teaching at Makindi School, very many days I would only have transport from USIU to town. So then I would walk from town to Riara Road. Now, to make that walk shorter, I would walk through
the fancy neighborhood,
from Kilimani, and I would see these nice houses, and I would see some people with nice cars, and they looked very young. And I think I kept pointing this out to you even.
I remember.
Like, who do you think lives there, or who do you think is driving that?
How much do you think that is?
Yeah, and I had so many questions like that. You remember? That's where the idea for the show, the curiosity, came, which is why I was more passionate about that particular show because it had questions that I wanted answered.
But you had so many ideas even before Young Rich. There was
many failed ideas and
terrible ideas. I supported you on all ideas, but Buddha, did you ever have fear ya fail urudi pale ulipo? Because you you've been there before.
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, maybe the first 1 year was just a heavy roller coaster because you see, we had all these life plans, and by my estimation is I was going to be where I was at the time by maybe by the age of 30, and then I got there in 3 months. Then the fear hit in after a while, and I think maybe to this day it's still what drives me because it's what keeps me chasing after new businesses and new ideas because I'm always afraid the last one will fail or that might no longer be viable. Case in point, Number7, the newest baby. So the last 7 years have been great. To 7 more years.